Randall cranks once, twice. He pulls the cord back a third time and it catches and the saw buzzes to life. He shoves it through the finger wide opening, cuts a jagged line, draws it back out, cuts another jagged line, a parenthesis, before it chugs to a stop. He tries to crank it again, but it will not start. He swings it instead, an awkward hammer. The wood cracks, bends outward. He swings again, and the closed eyelid he drew with the cutting saw, with the blows, flutters, and the roof opens. The storm screams, "I've been waiting for you." Light floods the flooded attic, close as a coffin. Randall grabs Junior, who swings around and clings to his back, his small hands tight as clothespins, and Randall climbs out and into the hungry maw of the storm. It is terrible. It is the flailing wind that lashes like an extension cord used as a beating belt. It is the rain, which stings like stone, which drives into our eyes and bids them shut. It is the water swirling and gathering and spreading on all sides, brown with an undercurrent of red to it, the clay of the pit like a cut that won't stop leaking. It is the remains of the yard, the refrigerators and the lawnmowers and the RV and the mattresses floating like a fleet. It is trees and branches breaking, popping like black cat firecrackers in an endless cackle of explosions over and over again and again. It is us huddling together on the roof, me with the wire of the bucket handle looped over my shoulder, shaking against the plastic. It is everywhere. Daddy kneels behind us, tries to gather us all to him. Skeeta hugs China and she howls. Daddy's truck careens slowly in the yard. Skeeta is hunched over, picking at his jeans. He takes off his pants and tries to hold them still in front of him. The legs whip in the wind. He shoves China back into the legs of the crotch. Then he flings one pant leg over his shoulder and the other he tucks under his arm. "Tie it," Skeeta yells. I tie it in a knot. My fingers are stiff and numb. I pull the wet fabric as hard as I can. Test it. China's head and legs are smashed into his chest, pinned under the fabric. She is his baby in a sling, and she is shaking. "Look," Skeeta says and points. I follow his finger to the hollow caress of Mother Lisbeth's and Papa John's house. The top half of the eaves of the house are above water. "It is on a hill," Skeeta screams. "How are we going to get there?" Randall yells. "The tree." Skeeta is inching down the roof to a spreading oak tree that touches our house and stretches to Mama's house. It rises like a jungle gym over the seething water. "We're going to climb the tree." "No," Daddy yells. "We're going to stay here." "What if the water keeps coming?" Randall asks. "Better for us to take the chance and stay here and drown." Junior's teeth are sealed together, his lips peeled back, his eyes are blasted open. As Randall picks his way down the roof toward the branch, Junior looks back. Randall braces an arm against his chest, holds Junior's arm. "Just like the first time we swam in the pit. Hold, Junior, hold on." Randall crouches at the edge of the roof with Skeeta. Both of them lurch like birds, feathers ruffled against the bad wind. Both of them holding their bundles closely. Skeeta leaps. He catches the closest ricocheting branch, lands half in and half out of the water. China yelps and begins to struggle, but Skeeta grips her harder with one arm and pulls himself down the branch until it bows to the water, and then he leaps again for the next whipping branch. He jumps and grabs. I re-shoulder my bucket, pick my way toward the edge. The wind flattens me again down to the roof. Randall leaps, lands on the same close branch with his stomach. His arms iron again. Binding Junior to him, both Skeeta and Randall scramble along the half-naked branches of the oak with one arm and both legs, using limbs to pull themselves and their burdens until they reach water. When they kick their feet, scoot back up to the branch, and leap for the next whipping branch. Randall stops, braces himself on the branch, and looks back. "Come on," he yells. I grip the tin with my toes, My fingers crouched on my haunches at the edge of the roof. Readjust the bucket. My heart is a wounded bird beating its wind against the cage of my ribs. I don't think I can breathe. Jump, Daddy says. I lean out and leap. The hurricane enfolds me in its hand. I glide. I land on the thickest branch, the wood gouging me, the bucket clanging. Unable to breathe, my eyes tearing up. I scramble at the wood, pull myself along the branch, my feet in and out of water, the steel handle of the bucket digging into my shoulder, my living burden already so heavy. The bare bones of Mother Elizabeth's house are so far away, I do not know if I could carry it that far. I inch to the end of the branch where it plunges beneath the water to join the trunk of the tree. I dig in my hands and my feet, clutch, jump, catch the next branch where Randall is waiting. The branches are grasping and grabbing, shudder, twist in the water and air. The little branches whip like clotheslines, come unpinned. It is an animal, alive, struggling against the water, trying to shove us off its back. I look back to see Daddy hurtling through the air. He hits the branch so hard with his torso that his body jackknifes, and his face is almost in the water. He is shocked still. He's knocked the wind out of himself. He looks up at us, blinks, whispers, but we cannot hear it, only see it. Go! Skeeter has worked his way to the middle of the tree, which buds out of the water, and he is swimming and thrusting from branch to branch. We follow him through the whipping branches, the undulating water, through plastic bags that skim the surface of the flood like birds, through the clothesline that knots the branches like fishing net, through our clothes, swept from the flooded house, through the plywood, ripped from the windows, pried away from the teeth of the storm, through the rain that comes down in the curtains, sleuthing against Daddy's lazily spinning truck, the detritus, until we cluster at the end of the farthest reaching branch, the one closest to the grandparents' house. We clutch each other and the swaying branches. China is pawing at Skeeta's breast, snapping at her head back and forth. She is jerking away from him, and he clutches her with one white-tipped hand. The bucket feels like it's tearing the skin in my shoulder, feels like I'm carrying 3 grown dogs instead of 3 puppies. Where barely the top of the tree had been visible at our house, the branches here are clearly above the flood. The water here comes up to the middle of the closet window. The house must have been built on a small hill, and we never noticed it. "I'ma swim, break the window. Y'all come in," Skeeter says. "Hurry," Randall says. "Each of you come with me." "Esh, you come with me," Skeeter says. "This ain't the time," Daddy yells. "This ain't about the puppy," Skeeter squints at me. "She's too small," Daddy hollers. He grabs my free elbow with his good hand, grips. "She's pregnant," Skeeter points. Daddy's face is shut and he pushes. Daddy saw it. That second before me, he pushed me. My big t-shirt and my shorts fit me like a second skin, sodden with water, where I used to be all sharp elbows and thighs, straight as pines, and a stomach like a paved road. My wet clothes show the difference. Daddy saw the curve of my waist, the telltale push of my stomach outward. Daddy saw fruit. I'm flailing backward with the bucket, the squeaking puppies. And in that second after he pushes me, Daddy is reaching out with his good hand, his bad hand hooked to the branch he crouches on. His eyes open and hurt and sorry as I haven't ever seen him since he handed Junior over to me and Randall and said, "Your mama." And I kick, grasping at the air, but the hurricane slaps me, and I land in the water on my back. The puppies flying out the bucket, their eyes open for the first time, I swear, judging me as they hit. "Esh," Randall yells, and Junior tightens his legs like a loop and shoestring across Randall's waist. Randall grips Junior's shins close. Junior's shins, those legs thin as rulers. Randall can't jump in. "Swim," he screams. I kick my legs in palm water, but I can barely keep my head above water. It is a fanged pink open mouth, and it is swallowing me. "Fuck," Skeeter yells. He looks down at China, who is thrusting up against his chest. "Esh," Junior screams, and the water is dragging me sideways. away, away from the window, out into the yard, toward the gullet of the pit. I snatch at the puppy closest to me, the brindle, which is limp in my hand, and shove it in my shirt. The white and the black have disappeared. Fuck, Skeeter screams. He grabs China's head, whispers something to her as she scrambled against him. Her teeth show, and she jerks backward away from him. She writhes. Her torso is out of the sling he has made. Skeeter grabs China by the head and pulls, and her body comes out, and she is scrambling. She flies clear of him, twists in the air to splash belly first in the water. She is already swimming, fighting. Skeeter jumps. The water swallows, and I scream. My head goes under, and I'm tasting it, fresh and cold and salt somehow, the way tears taste in the rain. The babies, I think. I kick extra hard, like I'm running a race, and my head bobs above the water, but the hand of the hurricane pushes it down, down again. Who will deliver me? And the hurricane says, shh. It shushes me through the water with a voice muffled and deep. But then I feel a real hand, a human hand, cold and hard as barbed wire, on my leg, pulling me back. And then I'm being pushed out of the water, held by Skeet, who is barely treading, barely keeping me afloat. China is a white head spinning away in the relentless water, barking, and Skeeta is looking from her to me, screaming, hurry up, at Randall, who is breaking what was left of the glass and the wood of the window with his hands, his shoulders, his elbows, diving through, while Junior clings to him, so close as a shell, and Skeeta is pushing me through the window, his hand a leash loop wrapped too tightly around my arm, his other hand treading, and he is calling, China, come, China, but she is nowhere, and Daddy is swimming and sinking and jerking toward us, his bad hand flashing, and he is through the window, and we are all struggling, grabbing at the walls, at broken cabinets, at wood, until Randall stretches his way up to the open ceiling and hauls himself and Junior into the half-eaten attic, where the hurricane fingers through the gaping roof, and Skeet pushes me up while Randall almost breaks my wrists with his grip as he hauls me up, and then Skeeta kicks off something buried under the flood and is up through the opening, and Daddy is on his back in the water below, treading with one hand and 2 feet, and Randall is hollering, help him, and Skeet is laying next to the hole in the attic floor looking at us, his face sick, twisted, and he is reaching a hand down to Daddy, hoisting him up, and the puppy must be dead in my shirt because he is not moving, and I pull it out as I cough and cough up water, and the hurricane in the pit, and I can't stop, and Skeeta is braced, looking out the ravaged roof, calling China, watching her cut through the swirling water, straight as a water moccasin into the whipping, fallen woods in the distance, and Junior is rocking back and forth, squatting on the balls of his feet over his eyes because he does not want to see anymore. He is wailing, no, 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 no.